Hey everyone, it's Rebecca E. Parsons, and I am here for a Tag Team Friday tutorial video. This time, I am going to show you how to make some beautiful Lacy angel tags. Aren't those just too sweet? I absolutely love these. For the holiday season, for the new year, these would even work clear on up into Valentine's Day or even Easter, I think, or maybe just all year round. So that's kind of what we're going to do. I'm going to teach you a few tips and tricks of mine. I am going to teach you how to dye some new lace to look like older vintage lace and a couple of other things along the way. So let's just get started. The images we're using today mostly came from the Vintage Angels bundle there on the Graphics Fairies Premium site. And I just printed them out on some tags. These are pretty big tags. I like to keep the tags that I do for videos and teaching on the large size. Of course, you can make them any size you want. So I printed them out. I printed just some of our parchment kind of paper on the back so they would be two-sided and I didn't have to worry about it. So let's just get started. Aren't those just the sweetest faces ever? Let me put those out of the way. All of the tools and materials that we're going to be using today will be listed under the video. They're probably stuff that you already have in your studio anyway. So much of it's sitting right here on the table. This is my little pile of goodies I'm going to use. So right there's really all we need for this project. Just some lace, the picture of the angel face, a tag, and some lace and some ribbon. That's all we are going to need. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you one of my quick, down and easy tricks for making some lace look vintage. I happen to have lots of old vintage lace that I have collected over the years. Every time I see lace at an estate sale or a garage sale, I scarf that right up, no matter what the cost. But if you can't find that or you don't have any in your stash, you can use store-bought ribbon. This is just ribbon. Actually, this came from the dollar store, and this came from a bargain bin somewhere, but it's pretty white. Although even though in my example here, I use some different shades of vintage because that's what vintage lace will look like. Some of them will be lighter than others and some of them will be darker. Some of them will have dark spots too. So just remember that when you are thinking about your lace. So I'm just going to take this. I'm going to take a little zip bag and I am going to use some walnut stain distress ink spray. And I'm just going to shake it a little bit. And I am going to squirt a couple squirts. You don't need a whole lot, because I'm not doing a whole lot of lace. Of course, if you're doing a lot of lace, you can use a bigger bag and I'll put more in it. Spray more. And I'm going to just spray some water in here as well. You don't need a whole lot. That's really all I'm going to make to do these two little pieces right here. And just take these and plop them in the bag. Isn't this easy? And of course, we like vintage and these neutral colors here, but you can also do this with other colors of spray that are, in the pastel colors or the aquas. So don't limit yourself only to this vintage color if you are a colorful person. So I'm just going to take this and fiddle with it a little bit with my fingers. And I'm going to pull it out. And this will dry a little bit lighter than it appears in here. If it appears too dark to you, just go ahead and add a little more water because the distress stains are water soluble. So the more water you add, the less darkness it's going to have. So we can just, you want it to be darker, you can let it sit longer as well. Let me put this out of the way so I don't make a mess with that. And just grab a paper towel and put this down on it. And you can see that has made a lovely vintage color already. This one has gone kind of pink. So I even like that. Look how cool that is. But that's simply how easy, if you don't have a piece of vintage lace. This works on fabric as well, little scraps of fabric. Cotton fabric, I wouldn't use a synthetic, although it will stain some of the synthetics, but I would just make sure that you use a natural fiber. So let's get into making our tag. And here's a little tip or trick that I did and I really liked. You can go ahead and cut the entire angel out, fussy cut her. But I kind of liked this since what we're doing is going to be layering the lace under here And we're going to be putting a collar on. I kind of like that I left the top of this tag to match the tag that I'm making, if that makes sense. I just think that looks good. Although I think it looks good the other way. This one is completely cut out. This is one that is done in the way we're going to be doing. And there is another one that's completely fussy cut out. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you is to cut your angels out and cut your tags out and make sure you've got all your pieces ready. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to sew some of this lace together. And what I did, I cut a piece that's about 8 or 9 inches long, but remember again, I'm making pretty big tags. So if you're making a smaller tag, kind of measure from the bottom of the fairy to the bottom of your tag and then double that. So that would be a good size to start with. And I also like mine varied in lengths. I don't like them all the same length, but it's up to you if you want to trim that as well. So I'm prepared a little needle here already and just knotted the end. And all I do, so very easy for those of you who don't sew a lot. Anybody can do this. If you can sew on a button, you can actually sew this lace together. And all you have to do is just stitch it. Just keep bringing the needle through. And it can get fussy. You can get it stuck in the lace. But what I do, watch this, is once I make a loop, is I run the needle back through the loop. And that gives me a knot that ties the stitch in there. So it shouldn't ever come loose. So again, we're just going to go straight across this. You can use maybe 4 or 5 running stitches is what they are called. Just go in and out. And again, I'm going to go back into my loop, get that lacy piece out of the way, and pull it tight. So that's really all there is to it. Just make 4 or 5 stitches just like that, and you have your little lace for your tag. Simple, easy peasy. So let me move that out of the way. And the next thing I'm going to do is just come in here like we always do. And I am going to put some dark around the edges of our tag and our angel, just to age it somewhat. And I think I need to cut that bottom off. You can make your tag as long as you want. You can use fancy scissors on the bottom. That is sometimes pretty too, depending on what you're going to use your tag for. These make lovely ornaments on a tree. Can you imagine a nice little angel tree? Of course, gift tags or tags or just about anything out there. All right, so I'm going to stop that right now, put it out of the way. And let me put my little angel in place. So the first thing we're going to do is glue just this little rounded piece. You know, some lace comes like this. So I kind of thought that was perfect for this. So I am going to glue that right on there. And I'm using this fabric glue because that seems to work pretty well for this fabric project. And let me just, the good thing about this glue is that it dries really quickly. And you don't have to fuss with it too much. Okay, then next, I am going to put this in position. And I'm going to see where my lace will go up under her. And you can use 2 or 3 of these little bundles. I've probably got about 6 or so pieces of lace in here, doubled on each one. And I added a little bit of gold ribbon, gold cord ribbon in here as well, because I thought we might have some little sparkles in this one. So just get it in place where you like it and then glue those down. It's that easy, folks. Not hard at all. And again, this works quickly. So it just takes a few seconds to dry, but use a pretty good dollop of glue. And if anything is running around, you can glue some of it together now. Any of your little ribbons you want to go in a particular place. Now's the time to get them all sorted. Then we're going to put this back on. And when we're ready, we are going to glue the whole piece here. Don't forget to put some glue on your lace as well. Make sure you get up pretty much all of the edges. And then line that up carefully. Let me cover my glue so it doesn't dry. And again, sometimes some of these, like this one, I used 2 of the glue stashes on, but this one I used 3, so there's a lot of lace on there. This one I used 3 as well, shorter ones. So you can use 2 or 3 bundles of lace. Let me make sure that is good and secured. And so you can put your message on the back. And if you've got anything off, like I got a little bit off there, you can trim that. Just trim it right up after you glue. Sometimes it's a little hard to see things when you're working on camera. So I got just a teeny bit off, but that's okay. Then next we will put our little hole punch on. Oops, I kind of got side goggled on that, but sometimes you do. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And so you just finish it the way you want. If you'd like some buttons on there, you can use the same glue to add a button if you like. I'll put the glue on the button itself. Or of course you could sew the button on. Easy peasy. Not hard at all. Just hold that down a couple seconds. And when the glue dries, you can clean that up a little bit. And then we are just going to put our ribbon through here. I think I'm going to cut that in 2 and double it up however you'd like to do your top ribbons. I kind of thought they were cute in bows. But of course you can make it any way you like. Let's do a little bow here. Fumble fingers on the video, but that kind of works out, doesn't it? And trim anything up that you think needs trimmed. That one's kind of pretty cool with that gold kind of braid cord in there, isn't it? I love that. And that sweet face, that would just make anybody smile. So there we are. It didn't take very long. And we've got a beautiful, beautiful tag. There's my whole set. I can't wait to see what you do. And I hope you have a great holiday season and a good end of the year and a good beginning to the new year. And again, this is Rebecca signing off, and may joy be with you all.